Hello, everybody. We are in the third hangout of the COP15 MOOC, and I'm very happy to have Gudrun with me. Hi, Gudrun.
Hello, everybody.
And Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
Hello.
Gudrun was the facilitator of week 3, and Thomas will be the facilitator of week 4. So first, we want to discuss the week 3 with Gudrun. Gudrun, what do you think about week 3? What do you think about the learners' activities? What did you like?
Yes, I really liked starting into week 3 because lots of participants said that they were expecting a real interesting topic, a communication topic. This was our topic, communication and negotiation. And I understood that lots of the participants are really economic students, business students. So I think they don't as often as we, our students of journalism and public relations, deal with communication or organizational communication. So I found this perspective of the business students really interesting, also in the comments, when I read through that. And I would like to thank all these I think it was over 90 participants active during this week, and I really like to thank all of those who were posting additional sources from their own experience or concerning the topics and the assignments they had to do in week 3. So yes, I enjoyed the interaction.
And what assignment did you like most?
I think first it was the assignment with the Clue Train Manifest and the new clues. So they really had a head start into what communication means in this changing world of technology, of communication technology and social media. Reading through 95 theses of the Clue Train Manifest and then reading through even more in the new clues was a little bit of a challenge, I think, yes. And the assignment that they had to come up with two of the most interesting for themselves theses. And I think it was interesting with what thesis they came up with, but also how critical lots of the participants really see the total immersions of social media communication, also in personal life as well as in organizational life. I think to deal with the organizational challenges faced by these social media communication tools and by everybody being active in the market and the community actually really building the market, not so much the marketing department anymore building the market. I think the organizational challenges are even easier to cope with, as I noticed with some of the comments, than the personal challenges. Any person, any young person as well as like middle-aged person as we are facing with this communication facilities, which also not only are a big possibility, but also a real time-consuming and psychologically really demanding tools. Yeah. I mean, one of the participants really shared a poem. I think it was a British young guy who made a poem and he dealt with all these devices of delusion. Yeah. So he really was talking about the social media and mobile communication tools in a very critical way. And I think, yes, you have to keep in mind that one has to be critical also. And when I read through this comment, I was thinking about Christoph Waltz in the German-speaking news media in the beginning of April. He was cited with a line, with a sentence, and he said that all these social media tools are really a social catastrophe, or the internet is a social catastrophe, because you're not really building social relationships with these things unless you're really doing this also in the real life. Yeah, sitting around a table and talking with people, and going to the phone and talking with people. So yes. And nevertheless, one has to deal with that. One has to communicate as an organization also with these tools. So yes, your question was what was the what did I really like very much? Yes, at the very beginning, this first assignment was really.
Your laptop is trembling a lot. I don't know what you're doing. Could you be little bit more quiet? Because everything
Yes,
is
open. I will not gesture anymore. So yes, I will only talk. Okay. Try to keep it really still. Okay. Thanks. But you can hear me, can you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And I think lots of participants really participated or did all the 3 assignments. I saw some people coming up and up on these assignments. Intercultural communication, of course. One link, one participant shared the link to Gerd Hofstede, which we didn't explicitly mention in our interviews with Mariam Bigdeli. Only sort of in the back we were referring to it. Of course, one has to go to Gerd Hofstede and his 6 cultural dimensions to compare actually nations or cultures, nation cultures or different cultures. Yeah, in sort of comparing different cultures, I think Gerd Hofstede, of course, is a very good source. Yeah, and his website and his consultancy. So this was just a little bit of concerning the second assignment. What I really liked most is people's personal stories of how they perceived or how they were dealing with intercultural problems, not so much problems, but differences, yeah, when they were experienced differences. So yes, I really liked most lots of personal funny things they had to cope with, or yeah, beginning problems, yeah, how they dealt with problems. In the third assignment, then I think the Harvard method of negotiation, Miriam explained very, very good and in very detail the Harvard method of negotiation. Hope that everybody. I don't think that everybody was familiar with this method, but what I read from the comments, they could refer to some personal experience back when they were thinking through this method, yeah. And the whole idea of enlarging the pie by separating the personal interest, the people, from the context, is something which is not only helpful in negotiations of various kinds, but also I think in crisis communication. Yeah, I was dealing with that. If you really have to deal with crisis communication, also from an organizational level, as a communicator for an organization, I think it's really useful to keep in mind this this Harvard method of negotiation, where you go sort of a ping pong play from one participant to the other, and you put yourself as a person a little bit back. Yeah, you're looking more to a broader context, to the context, yeah, to the topic really you want to deal with. Yeah, I was thinking about a communication scholar who came up with a situational crisis communication theory. It's Timothy Combs, and he was he had pretty much so he was publishing a lot about that, and he is dealing about he's saying about these three different levels. Every person really is connected to a crisis. There's the micro level, to the meso level, to the organizational level, and you are talking and speaking from this perspective, then you are a little bit more, you have stepped a little bit farther away from your own personal emotional involvement in this crisis. Yeah, and you can even take this further to a macro level perspective, where you really look at the perception of this crisis actions in a broader societal manner. Yeah. So there was sort of a parallelism from the Harvard negotiation, Harvard method of negotiation, and this crisis communication model. Yeah. So maybe you would like to put this to look this up. You can easily Google Timothy Combs. Yeah. If you deal with crisis communication.
Okay, thanks. And I have maybe last personal question, because you posted about food yesterday.
Yes.
What's the connection between food and communication and negotiation?
Maybe we should come back then to the very first assignment, where people were very critical about this whole social media stuff. Communication and food has something is very closely connected, actually. Yeah, because people come together on a big table, and they are planning to have a big meal together. Yeah, and then you can you have this communication flow around. Yeah, so communication and food and eating has lots to do with it, but in the real world. Yeah, you can't really eat with anybody via social media. So yeah, now I see you, Jutta, but it would be very difficult to share the same taste or of, I don't know, asparagus or strawberries. Yeah, as we just had yesterday.
Okay, I liked your post a lot. So I think that was week 3. Do you want to say some concluding sentences?
Yes, yes, I would like to say something now that I have read and participated pretty much in this week 3, and I have experienced the participants' opinions and read through them. Yes, I'm going to read through the other weeks also. Yeah, and have a look what we're still up to and what they are still going to post. So thank you again to all the participants for their contributions.
Okay, thank you, Gudrun. Yeah, and bye-bye, Gudrun, and hello, Thomas. Would you tell a little bit about yourself and then about week 4?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Yeah, hello and welcome to the 4th MOOC week. It's on doing business in emerging markets. My name is Thomas Schmalzer. First, before I tell you a little bit about the week and how it's going to proceed, I would introduce myself as well. My background is economics. I teach international political economy in our master's program, which is the Master of Business in Emerging Markets. Here at FHU, University of Applied Sciences in Graz. Since about 10 years, more than 10 years now, I also work in international projects, many of which are actually taking place in countries that would be considered as emerging markets. I'm talking about countries in Southeastern Europe, Eastern Europe, Asia, Latin America, in which we have done cooperation projects, development projects, and research projects in the past 10 years. So I do have a lot of intercultural background in these regions as well. So I will be one of the facilitators in this upcoming week for you. As such, my role will be to see whether you have any problems in completing the assignments. I will also provide you with some comments and feedback on what you have uploaded, what topics you have shared, what links you have shared. I will also try to give you some additional material that might be of use for your own research or for your own learning process in the course of the next couple of days. And in this, I will not be alone. I will also be joined by another colleague. His name is Christian Friedl. He will join us also as a facilitator during next week and will be active also in the forum. At the end of the week, you will also see our expert, who is also directly involved in the whole of week 4, who is also introduced through the videos that you can find on the website already, on the Code 15 website. His name is Vito Bobek, Professor Vito Bobek. He is our expert on emerging markets. He comes from Slovenia originally and teaches business in emerging market also not only at our university but elsewhere as well. So this is in a nutshell a bit about the team that will be walking you through week 4. But what about the content? We were acutely aware that not everybody who is participating in the MOOC is a business student. Therefore, we also tried to start at a very general level, just to discuss in our first assignment what we actually mean by the term emerging markets. What is it, or how can it be defined? How do different organizations, international organizations, define the term emerging markets? So this will be our starting point, and since there will be no lectures, you will find a couple of introductory videos online already, and an assignment. And the assignments always give you a little task, and then we would expect some kind of feedback and some kind of response from you. This could be a simple posting, this could be a short video clip that you do, this could be a presentation, this could be all sorts of things. You know, previously we heard that people shared poems, etc. Everything is okay for us, everything is good for us as long as it relates to the questions that we have asked you. So we would be very happy to also receive a lot of innovative or out-of-the-box thinking answers to our assignments. There is no right and wrong usually, so as long as you can make a good argument about your point of view, this is highly appreciated, and we're glad to discuss about it. We also invite all the other participants, of course, to look through the assignments and the submissions to the assignments that will come in throughout the next couple of days, and to provide each other some feedback, because we see it as crucial that in this learning process it's not all about us facilitators, experts, etc. telling you something, but it's also about learning from each other and discuss and give feedback to each other. So this is a core approach of ours as well. So yeah, that in a nutshell covers that. And once concerning the rest of the topics that we deal with in week 4, after we have defined the term emerging markets, there is a second assignment that, for those of you who would like to have a badge, is a compulsory one. That's called the evolution of multinational corporations from emerging markets. So what we saw in the past decade or so is that not only classical multinational corporations from Europe, from the US, from Japan were internationalizing and entering other markets. But nowadays also lots of large companies from emerging markets, from China, from India and Brazil and elsewhere, are actually moving towards the West, acquiring companies there and trying to do business there. So this is an interesting approach that we're also taking. So this will be the second assignment. We will work on that. And for those of you who can't finish, who still need to learn more, there is another optional assignment, assignment 3, that's called operating in selected emerging markets. And there we're also trying to close the loop to some of the other weeks that we had before. There will be issues under discussion such as corruption in emerging markets, how to deal with certain institutional voids. I'm using a term now that probably not all of you are familiar with, but in the course of the next week you will get to know this. So hope that I was able to raise your interest, and I'm looking forward to read many of you in the course of next week, and live online we will see each other next Monday for the concluding Hangout. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, for this overview. Yeah, and we will read what everybody will be writing, and I'm looking forward to week 4 and want to say goodbye. Goodbye.